In the story of one famous Chinese idiom, a man tries to steal a bell. As he moves the bell, it makes a sound. So he plugs his ears and foolishly believing by doing so, others won't hear the sound either. Of course they do, and he gets caught. It's a cautionary tale of burying one's head in the sand, and it aptly applies to the Fukushima incident in Japan. 5 years on, the Japanese government has virtually turned a deaf ear to one of the worst nuclear accidents in decades. The world still remembers that dark day. On March the 11th, 2011, a 9-magnitude earthquake struck Fukushima on Japan's eastern coast. It triggered a 15-meter tsunami that crippled the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant and sent its reactors into meltdown. It was the worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl in 1986, and 120,000 Japanese were relocated as nuclear refugees, and a vast majority of them have yet to return home. It just isn't safe for them to do so. Data on radiation levels collected by Japanese volunteers near the Daiichi nuclear power plant is 8 to 10 times higher than the official number. And children living nearby are up to 50 times more likely to develop thyroid cancer compared to those living elsewhere. At least 300 tons of radiation-contaminated underground water kept pouring into the ocean each day in 2013, but Prime Minister Abe, then vying for Tokyo's right to host the Olympics, claimed that nuclear contamination was well under control. Ken Bressler, a senior U.S. scientist at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, has been leading a study on Fukushima's radioactivity for years. He said 80% of the radioactive waste from Fukushima was released into the ocean, and anyone concerned about consuming seafood near Fukushima is right to worry. Despite all these facts, an independent investigation measuring the impact of the accident has yet to be launched. But shockingly, the Japanese government has decided to look the other way. It has watered down the severity of the incident, it's not sharing enough information with both its own people and the rest of the world, and the after effects of the Fukushima accident are largely unknown by global nuclear experts. Although it's understandable that Japan wishes to quickly turn the page of this tragic affair, its approach shows a weak sense of responsibility and the desire to avoid political pressure ahead of hosting the G7 summit this week and the 2020 Olympic Games. The Japanese government has been concerned with food security, tourism, and avoiding public lawsuits, but seems little concerned with sharing the facts about the incident with the world. And such selective amnesia is even more terrifying than the disaster itself, and Tokyo owes an explanation to the rest of the world. There's a lesson to be learned here. Don't ever plug your own ears and those of others. The sound of the bell is just too loud to be ignored.